Hello, learners and viewers of NIUS. I, Piyush Prasad, Academic Officer in Accountancy, is going to discuss on the topic trial balance. Learners, in our earlier topics, we have discussed that how the entries are going to be made in the books of accounts, and from that they are going to be posted to the respective ledgers. Once the ledgers are prepared by you and you have balanced them, now this is not the outcome. We are basically interested in knowing the financial position of our business, as how much profits we have earned or what are the losses we have suffered. Together with that, what is the amount we have to pay to an outsider and how much we are going to receive from them. Now, this all information you can only be able to know once you are going to prepare the final accounts. But preparation of a final account is not that easy job. As well, it is not that simple. We have to do some pre-planning before we go for the financial statements, and for that we are going to prepare a statement known as a trial balance. It is simply like a blueprint which is going to be prepared before we are going to perform anything, or we can say it is a map on a paper before we proceed for our journey. So, trial balance is simply a statement which contains the balances of the ledger, and with the help of which we are going to assure ourselves that whatever be the transactions we have done, they are arithmetically correct. Though there is no specific format for preparing the trial balance, neither there is any hard and fast rule that as and when you are going to prepare the trial balance. It is all up to you as per your convenience of the businessman. They can prepare the trial balance on a daily basis, so that they will came to know whether the books are approximate arithmetically correct or not. They can prepare it fortnightly, they can prepare the trial balance monthly, they can quarterly, half yearly or annually as per their convenience. But normally in routine manner, trial balance is a statement which is prepared before we go for the preparation of the financial statement, because it used to serve certain purposes. Normally it serves 3-4 purposes. First of all, that it will assure you that whether the books that has been prepared by you are arithmetically correct or not. Secondly, it is going to help you in preparing your financial statement. Third, if there are any errors, that can be very easily located. So, now I am going to let you know that how trial balance is going to be prepared, what is exactly its format, and how we are going to have it before we go for the financial statement. So, look learners, say we are going to have on extreme left one corner, this is, we can say it serial number, then this is the particulars, then after that we are going to have one small column as LF, which means ledger folio, and then we are going to have the 2 columns for amounts, and here also amount. This is we are going to mention in terms of rupees. This is the debit balance and this is the credit balance. Once you are going to have this format with you, what you have to do is simply took the balances of the various ledger accounts, post them, put them in the trial balance, make the total of both the sides. In case if both the sides total, that is the debit and credit totals, are equal, it means your trial balance is correct and we presume that our books are arithmetically correct. In case if the balances are not going to tally it, then there is going to be some error or some problems. So, now how we are going to proceed further? First of all, we should know exactly what is going to be the format. Just think of in the mind what are the different ledger accounts do we have. Say we are going to have the ledger account of opening balance, which is basically the stock. Now, opening stock is always going to have a debit balance. So, whenever you will get a opening stock, put it on a debit side. There can be purchases, a debit balance. There could be purchase return. Now, you know if purchases are debited, purchase return are going to be credited, because this is just the reverse of it. There could be sales, always a credit balance. Similarly, there could be sales return, it will have a debit balance. Sometimes it may be possible that we are not going to exactly get the word purchase return or sales return. Then in that case, sales return will be shown as return inward, while purchase return will be shown as return outward. There could be any number of expenses. These expenses can be in terms of wages, salaries, rent, octroi and so on. So, all the expenses are always going to have the debit balance. In case you are going to have some expenses outstanding, then outstanding expenses being a liability will always have the credit balance. Then we proceed further. They can give you some other incomes. Now, these incomes can be in form of the rent received, discount received, it could be the commission received and so on. So, all these incomes are going to have the credit balances. So, what I mean to say is, in case if there are expenses, simple expenses, debit balance. In case if there is incomes, then incomes are always going to have the credit balance. So, there could be many more things. Some assets could be given to you, maybe in form of cash, bank, debtors, bills receivable, furniture, buildings and so on. All these are going to have the debit balance. Similarly, there could be certain liabilities. So, we will continue with the same, and liabilities may be in form of bank overdraft, there can be creditors, bills payables, then there could be a bank loan and so on. So, all the liabilities are going to have the credit balances, and there can be many more number of items. So, what you are exactly going to do is, from your ledger account, write the name of that particular account, and wherever you are going to get the balance, either on the debit side or credit side, write the balance, whatever be the amount is there. Then at the end, make the total of both the sides. In case if the total of both the sides are going to be equal, we presume over here that the quotient which we have done or the trial balance that we have prepared is correct. In case if we found that both the sides total are not going to tallied, then we have to think कि yes, there are going to be some errors. Now, errors can be number of types with number of reasons. The errors are basically that some totaling has been done wrong by us while preparing our ledger account, or when the entries are going to be posted from the journal to ledger, some mistakes has been committed by us, or when the opening entries are going to be shown, there may be some error. One or the another, once the trial balance does not tally, it means that there is definitely going to be some error at the time of preparing our books of accounts. So, before we proceed further for the preparation of final accounts, we should rectify that error so that we are not going to face any problem at that very moment. So, now this is the format which you are going to take care of. For your purpose, I am going to take one imaginary illustration example. Say we are going to have certain ledger balances. This is going to be given to you in the question. Say we take opening stock 10,000, purchases 50,000, sales 70,000, wages 10,000, salaries 5,000, commission received 3,000, discount received 2,000. Simultaneously, we can have some creditors for 15,000, debtors 7,000, cash 8,000. Now, these are some of the items which we have taken on an imaginary basis. Taking all the things that has been provided to us in a question, first of all we are going to prepare a format. Format, as I have already told you, will remain the same, that there is going to be one column for SCL number as per your convenience, particulars, ledger folio, amount debit, amount credit. Choose and pick one item each time. Say the very first item is opening stock. As you know that opening stock is always going to have the debit balance as per the format which I have explained you right now. So, this 10,000 rupees will be shown in the debit column. Second is purchases. Purchases balance is 50,000. Again purchases are always going to be debited. Now, we have got sales. As I have right now told you, sales will always have a credit balance. So, 70,000 rupees will be shown on the credit side. Then we are having wages. Wages are going to have the debit balances. Now, fifth item is salaries. This is 5,000. So, it will also be debited. Then the sixth item we are having commission received. As it is received your income, so incomes are always going to be credited. We are going to show it on a credit side. Then there is a discount received. Again, as you are going to receive it, it is your income, show it on the credit side. Then we are having creditors. As the name suggests, creditor, it is going to be shown on the credit side. Ninth number is for debtors, always used to have a debit balance, 7,000 debit, and 10th is cash, being an asset going to have a debit balance. Simply make a total of both the sides. If both the sides total are equal, we will presume that the trial balance which we have prepared or the books that has been prepared by us are arithmetically correct, otherwise there are some errors, and then some certain steps would be taken by us to rectify those errors. 90,000 as the total. While on this side, this is 10,000 and 50, it becomes 60, and 10 70, and 5 75, and 7 82, and 8 90. So, once we are going to say that both the sides of trial balance are equal, it means, as you know that there are two hands of a person or two legs of a person and they should be balanced, they should be equal. If your one hand is going to be greater than the second hand, it means you are not physically fit. Same is the case with accounting, that both the sides of our accounts, debit and credit, should be equal. And to judge that arithmetical accuracy, whether they are correct or not, we are going to prepare a trial balance. So, this is one of the very simple method. It works as a blueprint before the preparation of the financial statement. Now, suppose we presume, take an imaginary condition, that your balances are not going to be equal due to one reason or the another. Reason could be, say we are taking a case, suppose this side total comes out to be 90 and here the total comes out to be, say, 84,000, and in case you found that though you have performed your well, but the totals are not coming equal. So, what is the procedure or the steps you are going to take to make it equal? First of all, you just check the posting, that is the amount of the balances, ledger balances that are available with you are written by you exactly the same or not. Simultaneously check whether the items to be written in that particular column are not in a very same way or not. Say the opening stock. In case if the opening stock is not written by you on a debit side and suppose you write it on a credit, definitely your answers are not going to match. So in that case, if after each and every efforts we found that we are not going to get it tallied, but we have to prepare a financial statements, we have to prepare the final accounts, then in that case the difference is going to be put under a new account known as a suspense account. Though we have tried our level best to get it tallied, but if one or the another by making all the efforts we found that the balances of the trial balance are not going to tally, we cannot wait for an unlimited period of time. Finally, we have to prepare the financial statement. So in that case, wherever you found the shortage, say in this case the debit side is shorter by 6,000 rupees in comparison to the credit side, simply write 6,000 in a suspense account, write 90,000 rupees on both the side and make it artificially tallied. This is not a practical thing, but what we have done is we have get our accounts tallied artificially, because the reason is that by this we can proceed further and the rectification of this thing could be done later on also at some another stage. So basically the purpose of preparing the trial balance is that it would help us in knowing that the books are arithmetically correct or not. Secondly, it would help us in preparing our financial statement. It would help us in detecting the errors if committed by us, and finally it would also help us in making the adjustment entries. There can be number of adjustment entries for outstanding expenses, prepaid expenses, net profits, net losses of the business, there could be a closing stock and so on. Number of items are there, they are going to be adjusted with the help of the trial balance, and with that we can prepare the final accounts. So now the thing is, if we have opened a suspense account and this is an artificial way of getting our account tallied, what are the basic reasons or causes due to which the trial balance does not tally? So you can have some 4 or 5 points for it. One thing I have told you that when you are posting the entry from journal to ledger, at that time the mistakes has committed by you. This error could be of two types. One is known as a commission and other is known as omission. When we say commission, it means that the error has been committed by a person. On the other hand, when we say omission, it means that error has arises due to certain omissions. Matlab we have omitted certain things. Now how we are going to take it? Commission and omission. Take the case of omission. This is the first case. There could be number of omissions. Omission means that when you are making the total of your ledger accounts, some mistakes has been committed by you. There could be a case that the goods had been sold to A, and by mistake in place of writing in the accounts of A, you wrote down the things in the account of B. This could be one of the error. Number of times it used to happen that we are going to have some expenses like purchases, we are going to purchase the goods for 5,000 rupees. In place of 5,000 we have written simply 500. So there could be number of errors which can be done by a person, or whenever we used to purchase certain things we are supposed to write it on a debit side. In place of writing on a debit side we have written by mistake on a credit side. Then there may be the problems related to the assets and expenses. Suppose a businessman is having a business of construction of buildings. So for him the construction of building would be considered as a simple purchase. Now if he purchased some furniture and the accountant was a new one, in place of considering the furniture as an asset, he show it as a simple purchase, due to which the things will tally, but these errors are going to come under the category of omission. There are certain errors which are going to come under the category of commission. Commission means that these are the errors which are committed by the accountant knowingly, unknowingly at the time when they were basically passing on the entries. Though they are going to be one and the same over here, but still Now, what are these things which are going to come under the category of the commission? Under this case commission, sometimes what they used to do, that during the adjustment entries the mistakes are committed by the accountant. For example, there are certain prepaid expenses which have not been taken into care of, due to which the problem arises. There could be certain outstanding expenses which have not been taken care of, due to which the problem arises, or the commission could be of same time that some addition totaling is going to be done by the businessman, or there could be two different persons of the same name. Like for example, we have paid salaries to our employee whose name is X. Now, as it is a salary, we should write salary account debit to cash. In place of that, we have written X account debit to cash. It means we have presumed that money has been paid to X. We have paid the money, but the money was paid for salaries, not for that particular thing. So, there could be certain errors which are going to come under this category. This way you take care of all these things, that whether the error of commission is there, omission is there, and then you accordingly put it in your balance and you would be able to have the trial balance. So, this is one of the very simplest way of preparing the trial balance. Learners, this is one of the method which I have told you, and this method of preparing the trial balance is known as a balance method. Now, why do we call it as a balance method? Because we are simply going to take the balances of our ledger accounts. If they are the debit balances, put it on the debit side. If they are the credit balances, write it on the credit side. This is one of the method which is most popularly used. There could be another method known as a total method. In this method, what we used to do, that whatever be the totals are there of the debit and credit side, we simultaneously record both the things. Say for example, if you are going to write the sales, so whatever be the total on the debit side, whatever be the total on the credit side, write both the totals. Normally sales are going to have only the credit balances, but in case if something is there, write both. There could be a third method which is known as balance and total method. So, this is simply a combination of first two methods, here in which we are going to write even the balances as well as the totals. So, these are the three methods which can be used by you while preparing the trial balance, but in most of the cases we are simply going to use the balance method. Now, once this thing is over and you found that there are certain errors, what are the methodology you are going to adopt for rectifying those errors? For that, there are two different situations. I have told you right now that once the balances of both the sides of your trial balance are tallied, totals are tallied, we presume that our books are arithmetically correct. This is simply a presumption, but still there is a possibility of having an error. So, now two things arises. One, we say that in case of errors, two possibilities are there. One, when trial balance is tallied and when it does not tallies. So, these are the two different situations. In case trial balance tallies, again there is a possibility of error. Once trial balance does not tally, again there could be the possibility. So, there are certain points which we are basically going to use for locating the error. All these points are given to you in your study material, but again for your reference purpose I am going to quote them one by one. We are taking a first case when our trial balance agrees. Then also there could be the possibility of error, and the errors under this could be, under this situation, the first error is omission. Omission means that we have purchased certain things and we have totally omitted for recording the entry in the books of accounts. This could be one of the error. Here in this case, so it is a omission fully. Here there would be omission but partly. Now take a case of this. Fully omission means you have purchased the goods on credit from someone. Goods has been taken by you in your stock, but no entry has been passed by you, neither in the purchases nor in the name of the supplier. So, if you are not going to debit nor you are going to credit, your trial balance will definitely tally. On the other hand, partly omission means that you have purchased some goods on credit, only a part of the entry has been done by you, purchases account debit, but you forgot from whom the goods has been purchased. So, until unless you are going to credit a particular thing, your accounts, your trial balance will not tally. So, this could be one of the situation in case of the errors. Second case where we found the errors are basically putting a wrong amount. Wrong amount, again there are two possibilities, that you are supposed to write on a debit side 5250. By mistake you have written 5200, and the same mistake has been committed by you on the credit side, that on the credit side also you have written 50 rupees less. Here the 50 rupees are less. So, suppose for example, you were supposed to write 2250, and if you are going to write 2200, it means that there is a mistake of 50 rupees on the debit side and a mistake of 50 rupees on the credit side, but finally the trial balance will tally. Here in that case what happens, that some entry should be there for 5250. In place of this, if you are going to simply write 5200, one sided error, the trial balance will not tally. Sometimes it used to happen that when we make the total of debit side or credit side, we found the difference of a double amount. Double means that 10,000 is more on a debit side. Then in that case what you simply do, the methodology I am telling is, check any entry which is there for half an amount, that is find the entry for 5000 rupees, because number of times it used to happen that an item of debit side is going to be posted by us on a credit side, and this way the errors are going to be committed. So, learners, there could be number of possibilities for having the errors. We will take one more things for this, capital item and revenue item. We have already discussed over here that there are two type of things, you know, one is a capital, other is a revenue. There are certain things which comes under a trading account, there are certain things which comes under a balance sheet. So, in case if any capital item is going to be written as a revenue item or any revenue item is going to be written as a capital item, definitely at that time the trial balance will tally, but finally this is going to be one of the error. So, trial balance and errors are simultaneously work together hand by hand, so that you are going to have an appropriate foolproof account, so that no one can put even a finger on your account, and you are going to have a total faith and believe on your account that whatever be the accounts that has been prepared by you, they are absolutely correct. So, trial balance is one of the most important thing before you go for the preparation of the final accounts. I hope my presentation on the trial balance and the way I have explained you is going to help you a lot. Now, you simply need to have some practice. For that, there are lot many illustrations and questions given to you in your study material that is supplied by NIUS. So, simply solve the questions, have a practice of them, and then you would come to know yes, whether your trial balance is going to be tallied or not. Thank you very much.
हिंदुस्तान के हर कोने में नौजवानों के पास प्रतिभा है, उन्हें अवसर चाहिए।
NIOS देता रहा है युवाओं को अवसर आगे बढ़ने का। NIOS से पढ़ने वाले इन युवाओं ने किया है संस्थान को गौरवान्वित। दिव्यांगों ने बन के दिखाया है सबल और आत्मनिर्भर। NIOS के साथ आप भी जुड़िए NIOS के संग।